What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I want to start off by apologizing for the long period in between videos. A guy is back to work and it's quite tough to find time to edit when traveling and putting down 12-hour shifts. So again, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here, but I still have my day job and it requires a lot of time. It takes a lot of time from me. Anyways, we're going to get into part 3 of the door shell repair on the 68 Firebird. This is going to be the final part. So let's just get into it. So I got this piece made up right now, pretty much replacing that bottom lip, and I'm getting ready to do a cutting butt. Just gonna take my cutoff wheel. We got it all tacked in place. I do got a little piece here I gotta cut right there. I'm gonna do that when I do the outer skin. So I'm not gonna weld from here forward. But now I'm gonna burn this bottom piece all the way in. So this bottom is pretty much all burned in, except for the ends. This little piece here. Here I gotta use a copper back or a sliver, one or the other. And then right here, these little edges are not done yet either. And right here. But I did weld in the majority of it. I still have to make a patch for here, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna take care of these ends right now. The next step I got is I'm actually gonna flip it over and I'm gonna cut the skin. And then I gotta shorten this lip because this is longer than I need. And we'll start getting this into shape. Got this entire lip done. You can see it's been welded. This corner, I still need to trim the end. Right here, I still need to do a patch here. I wanted to clean out all this surface rust. The shell is like in worse shape than the skin, but I'm gonna blast this. Also, I wanted to be able to clean any sharp edges from the back side of this area here as well. So next I'm gonna get this guy out of here, and I'm probably gonna start cleaning this guy out. Well, after turning this place into a complete disaster, I mean, it's insane. The shell, the inside of the shell is blasted. So this little bracket here, we got some rot, so I'm gonna have to rebuild that. But the nice thing now without the skin is you can see the back side of the welds from the new lip. I can treat that up real good. I still got to make this little corner piece, so that's pretty much what I'm going to get started on now. I'm going to fab this bracket up and work on fabbing that corner, and then I'm going to epoxy the inside of this. You can see I did start blasting the outside really quick, but then I stopped. I think I'm gonna blast the outside of this later when I'm actually gonna do a good epoxy on the car, not a rattle can. I'm gonna leave the rattle can for the inside. The outside, all this I'm gonna do when I do the jams with the same stuff that I'm gonna use on the outside of the body, which would probably be an SPI epoxy. It's what I used on that car before I sent it out to get painted because of my time schedule. I do have some left over, but it's probably junk. It's like 4 or 5 years old. But this is the epoxy I'll be using. Not this particular one, I'm gonna buy fresh, but that's gonna be the brand. And there's just some stuff I have left over. I have this feather fill. If it's good, I'll use it on the car. If not, I'll buy some more. And there's some cheap clear there. I'm not going to use that on this car. I'm probably going to use the SPI clear as well. All right, so I did some touch-up welding on the back side over there where, you know, penetration was a little light, etc. So that's all taken care of. I went ahead, made my patch for that corner. I even went ahead and I made this to weld in there and replace this bracket. Now I'm not going to do it as a whole. I'm probably just going to cut it right here at the top and then just butt weld and splice them together and be done with it. But once I remove this, I do got to get in here, and I'm probably going to have to weld in a little strip at the top. But I'm going to make that up after this piece gets out of the way. Another thing, we're having a pretty big thaw here, and with my luck, my roof started leaking. Great. Anyways, back to the current task at hand. Gonna get this lobbed off real quick, analyze the repair we need in here, make a little strip, and we'll start burning all these metal pieces in, get the inside of this coated with some epoxy, and be done with it until we get the skin. right, so I went and I got this little bracket welded in. I also got my hinge plate screwed and clamped into place. I did the screws, located it, but I used the clamps to pull it in nice and tight. So now I'm gonna burn that in real quick, and then I can paint this whole thing. Let's burn this in. You see this block of wood here is just because my C-clamp wasn't big enough, my pliers, so I just put a little fill in the space there. Another thing you may notice is I went and I blasted the entire thing on the outside, but now I just need to get this hinge plate burned in, dress the welds, and I'm gonna fully coat this thing inside and out. I'll show you guys. This is the epoxy I was talking about in the rattle can. It's a two-part, that little button right there at the top. You use it to press in the bottom, and that it breaks something inside that releases the second part, and you just shake it up. And on the can it says it is good for, where is it, 36 hours after you mix. But anyways, let's fire this up. And let's burn this sucker in. Here we go. I'm gonna dress these guys up, and then I'm gonna hang this door up and paint it. I'm probably gonna dangle it off the garage door. It's broken. That's why the chain's dangling. Check that out. Now I went and I dressed all the spot welds. I made sure these here were nice and flush so the hinge can sit right. I also, excuse me, I also put a thin coat of ASHUTOSH on the skin, on the shell, so it wouldn't turn on me, because it's actually been like 2 days since I've worked on the car. You see a little piece of tape in there, and that's nothing big. Found a little piece of welding slag stuck right there, so I just want to knock that off. But this shell is pretty much done. It was a lot of work, but I am happy with how it came out. Now you can see some of the welds still down here, but I'm just going to put a coat of fiberglass reinforced filler because it's waterproof. Smooth that out and it'll look great. All I got left to do, and I'm not going to bother filming it, is you can see there I got to neutralize a little bit more ASHUTOSH that splashed in when I was doing the outside. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the entire inside of this door shell along with the edges all the way around, so when I wrap the skin there's paint in between the skin. For the actual outside, being that I coated it with ASHUTOSH, it shouldn't turn. I mean, as long as I don't get wet and I don't constantly rub on it and the oils from my skin get all over, it should not turn. So with that being said, I'm not going to paint the outside because ideally, even though I do have that two-part epoxy in a can, I much rather use what I'm gonna put on the body in this area. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. This was a pretty big job. It definitely entailed a lot more than I anticipated. I probably was better off just buying a whole nother door. I did that for the passenger side because the passenger side was actually a lot worse than this one, but it was a lot more high, especially after I blasted this. That exposed a lot more that I didn't see. A lot of pinholes started popping up and I had to do a lot more repairs, but it's done, it's saved, and it did save me a bit of money. I mean, a new door, 450 bucks, a skin, 150 bucks. So, you know, do the math there. There's a little bit of extra money somewhere along that. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to be probably skinning this on the next one, or I'm going to be rebuilding the upper hinges so I can hang the passenger door because it's just sitting in the back of my truck right now. I kind of want to get it out of there. Anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you on the next one.